This podcast is sponsored by Sainsbury's. Buy food items for the same price, but with different values. What's up, guys? It's your boy, the Nit-Praiser, the man who reviews video games, TV shows, and feature films. I may be kind of funny, but I'm still serious about my opinions. Today, I'll be talking about a short film series that is known by millions of people around the world, most commonly in the UK, Wallace and Gromit. The series features two characters, Wallace, a cheese-loving inventor, and Gromit, his canine companion. They were both created by animator Nick Park, who first worked on A Grand Day Out, the first Wallace and Gromit short film. Also, the film was originally intended to be a college project. Nick then became a staff member at Aardman Animations Studios, who are best known for their films including Chicken Run and most recently Aardman, and TV shows like Shaun the Sheep and Morph. In fact, Shaun the Sheep was introduced in the third Wallace and Gromit film, A Close Shave, and eventually, because of popularity, he had his own spin-off. But anyway, back to Wallace and Gromit. Aardman helped Nick complete the film, which ended up being a huge success. Wallace and Gromit eventually became two of the most recognisable characters in the world. They had a concert tour, a theme park ride, toys, books, DVDs, and even appeared in television advertisements. They are that popular. I'm a massive fan of the duo and a collector of the franchise, you can see right here. Today, I'll be reviewing the second Wallace and Gromit film, The Wrong Trousers, which is also my favourite film of the franchise. But I'm not alone this time. With me, I have a special guest who not only goes to the same college as me, but also does the same course as me. I introduce Nathan. Thank you so much, Nathan, for being a guest in my podcast.
Hi Lewis, it's a pleasure being your guest today.
So Nathan, when were you first introduced to Wallace and Gromit?
I was first introduced to Wallace and Gromit when I was a kid, so I was about 5, maybe 6. And I liked it. It was a nice childhood film to watch. Good story too. Good story.
When I was introduced to Wallace and Gromit, I was about, I think around 7 years old when I first got them on TV, and I became a massive fan of the franchise by loving the great stories, great characters, the music, the sets. Because of being a British show, it makes sense. It's one of my favourite animated franchises of all time, and it relates to like the other films like Chicken Run and Aardman, which Wallace and Gromit are quite notably the most recognisable ones in the Aardman industry.
Yeah. I thought Shaun the Sheep was. I recognised Shaun the Sheep quite easily as Aardman. Yeah. But Wallace and Gromit are also recognisable as Aardman, but I recognise Shaun the Sheep a bit more, to be honest.
And with that little introduction out of the way, let's get cracking, as Wallace would say. So the film begins with Gromit opening up a birthday card, as it is his birthday today. And the thing of Wallace, right, he is like this inventor, inventing all these random contraptions, and invents this bed that when Gromit pulls a lever, it lifts up and makes him drop down through a trapdoor, I guess, which lets him wear trousers with elastic and robotic arms to help Wallace get dressed, and Gromit presses a button to make toast and jam. Was that scene kind of funny to you as a kid, like within the way it was portrayed?
It was quite, well, I know what you say now is clean, is what I'd call it now, clean.
Yeah.
Quite smooth the way it happened, and it made me laugh as a kid, yeah.
Then back to Gromit's birthday. He gets a present from Wallace, which is a dog collar, which is like a bit tight around the poor dog's neck, because dogs have their collars round, which makes sense, because it's a British show of a real life environment and real life characters, even though Gromit acts like a person. Then another contraption made by Wallace.
The trousers.
Yeah, the trousers. They walk towards Gromit and Wallace unwraps it, saying it's the techno trousers. He tells Gromit of how it functions by using a remote control and drags Gromit out for like a 20-minute walk cycle, which was, kind of funny to me. Was it funny to you?
A little bit. I didn't find it too hilarious. Well, I won't find it hilarious now, but as a kid I reckon it did make me laugh.
The thing is, Wallace and Gromit are low on money and are unable to pay their bills. Wallace rents out the spare bedroom with a room to let side, and with advertisement being in the newspaper, and the new lodger for their room is a penguin named Feathers McGraw, as you can see in my t-shirt, and he is like dissatisfied with the room within the lack of restoration and decoration, so he goes into Gromit's room and spends the night there. You can tell that he's actually a devious villain with sharp eyes and the cold hard stare. What do you think of Feathers?
I think he's a strange character, but you can definitely tell he's a villain when he arrives into the scene.
Then Gromit has to stay in the spare room, which seems a bit unfair because, Feathers basically steals Gromit's room for his own leisure because, he's a bad guy. And Gromit has to stay in the room for the time being, but it turns out Feathers is devious, unbeknown to Wallace, and he starts reworking the trousers, which Feathers basically takes out the controls, so Wallace doesn't even know it's Feathers controlling the trousers. I mean, doesn't that sound devious?
Yeah, it's a good plan. He's definitely a clever character, clever villain. Yeah, he takes Wallace out, doesn't he? On a walk, quite a long one.
The funny thing was that he runs as fast as the Roadrunner from Looney Tunes. The way the animation portrayed, Wallace runs that fast like the Roadrunner. It really had me cackling as a kid. Wallace goes to sleep for a while, but Gromit notices a wanted poster of a familiar figure wearing a glove for a chicken's head, I guess, even though it's a penguin. And it is revealed to Gromit that Feathers is actually the wanted criminal. Feathers has a plan to steal a diamond that is located in the town's museum so that he can sell it. Because the trousers have air holes underneath it, it can walk up sides of buildings and on rooftops. So Feathers basically makes Wallace walk 90 degrees up the building and then through the air vent and upside down onto the ceiling, which was actually kind of funny.
Yeah, and he goes to steal the diamond, doesn't he? But the diamond is protected by a laser alarm system.
Yeah.
And Wallace, the penguin controlling Wallace, accidentally triggers the alarm. So that was quite a tense scene. I remember in the film. That's the tensest scene in the film.
Yeah, reason why it happened was Feathers has a claw inside Wallace's helmet, so that he actually grabs the diamond, but the weight on one of the legs on Wallace's trousers breaks part of the roof, and that moves the crane's mechanism onto the light beam, and that triggers the alarm. And then Feathers reveals he is apparently the wanted criminal to Wallace, even though it's unintentional. Then Wallace and Gromit are both locked in a wardrobe, with Gromit being locked in there at gunpoint, so Gromit rewires the trousers, and it literally...
It breaks the wardrobe, doesn't it? It falls down the stairs and it breaks them free.
And this results in a iconic model train chase, which is the best scene in the film.
Yeah, it's the main finale, isn't it?
Feathers drives a train, Gromit is holding onto the carriages, and Wallace balances on a flatbed truck at the very end of the train. Gromit's quick thinking skills, because Feathers uncouples the train and diverts into a dead end, and Gromit gets multiple spare tracks and eventually does catch up with Feathers, but the trousers stops Feathers' tracks, no pun intended, and they end up catching Feathers. The police send them to jail. Well, not really jail, it's really a zoo, but to Feathers it is jail, because it's Feathers is behind bars, but around him is an advertisement saying welcome to the zoo. So what did you think of the chase overall?
It was definitely the most tense part of the film, as I said, and it was quite funny seeing Wallace being a bit clumsy in the chase.
So the police give Wallace and Gromit reward money for catching a penguin, so now they're able to pay their bills, and they both agree that not everyone is upstanding as themselves. So now that we covered the film, let's talk about our final thoughts. So Nathan, what did you think of the film?
It's definitely my second favourite Wallace and Gromit short film. My favourite's probably Curse of the Were-Rabbit, because that's the last one and it was really good. It was better lighting, better sets. It's definitely my favourite. But I think back to the Wrong Trousers, it was, in my opinion, it was quite short. That's one of the main reasons why I didn't like it, because it was too short.
I mean, all the Wallace and Gromit short films are 30 minutes long, whereas the theatrical film, The Curse of the Were-Rabbit, which came after A Close Shave and before the final film, A Matter of Life and Death, was over an hour long, so yeah. I get what you mean. I mean, even if it was too short, it was still good.
Yeah, exactly.
But for me, it's the best Wallace and Gromit film in my opinion. The sets, the characters, the music, the villain, it's just really good. I really love it. And even if the villain may be intimidating, he's actually one of my favourite villains. The film overall is 100% perfect, and I definitely think it is the best one of them all. So we better sign off now, and I'd like to thank Nathan here. He's been a really great special guest today. Thank you so much, Nathan. I really enjoyed having you here.
been a pleasure.
So, would you like to be another guest in another episode?
Sure, maybe in the future, yeah.
Yeah, great. So I'll let you all know the new episode is coming via Instagram. Link is in the description. So be on the lookout for that. And be sure to like, comment and subscribe if you want to see more content. So again, it's time for us to sign out. So it's time for Nathan to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yeah, it's great having you here. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
And it's time for me to say goodbye. Again, I'll let you all know the new episode is arriving via Instagram, so be on the lookout for it. Trust me, it'll be great. This is Nit-Praiser signing out. Have a good day, everyone.